Hey, what is up YouTube? This is the Merman Master coming at you guys again for the Team Time Riders Yugi Tube channel today with my Jesse Anderson Crystal Beast character deck. Now, before I get started in this deck profile, I'm going to say, guys, this character deck is something that's been a while in the making. I'm a really good fan of Crystal Beast right now. I think they're one of the coolest archetypes ever created in this entire game. They have a lot of really, really amazing abilities. It's also one of those decks that looks absolutely fantastic when it's in high rarity, and I just really wanted to bring this deck profile to you guys. I've been waiting a while to get a lot of the cards that I need to complete this deck. Now that I finally got them, let's get started, guys. So, for those who don't know what Crystal Beasts do, it's basically manipulating your monster zones and manipulating your back row with tons of really awesome spell and trap effects. So, guys, to start things off, we've got the first Crystal Beast in the deck, Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus. You got to run 3 of this guy. He's the best Crystal Beast in the deck, bar none. His effect is, upon summon, normal or special summon, grab any Crystal Beast monster from your deck, hand, or graveyard and put it into your back row. It's a very, very good search card. Very, very strong. And like running any less than 3 Pegasus is just like, it's heresy. Got to have him in here. The next card we've got, 3 copies of Ruby Carbuncle. Ruby Carbuncle is the second best Crystal Beast monster in the deck because when it's summoned, it allows you to special summon Crystal Beast from your back row. So the idea is that you use Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus in your other cards to get stuff in your back row, and then Carbuncle special summons them out onto the field when it gets special summoned. For the 2 of Crystal Beast, we have 2 copies of Crystal Beast Topaz Tiger. He's a lot better than Amber Mammoth due to the ability to become a 2000 attack point beater. Still a very, very good card, and definitely one that I recommend having in 2 as opposed to some of the other Crystal Beasts. Next, we have, it looks like 2 copies of Amber Mammoth here. I currently don't own a cat, unfortunately, so I have to play around a little bit there, so I don't have a cat. This is supposed to be 1 Amber Mammoth, 1 cat. Cat attacks directly for 600, or for half of its attack, which is 600 in most instances, and Amber Mammoth basically allows you to redirect any attack to it. They're not good effects, but they're still, you run them in here because this is a Jesse Anderson style character deck. Now, for other one-ofs we have is 1 copy of Cobalt Eagle. I actually like Cobalt Eagle a lot, and I think a lot of people don't realize its effect to put a Crystal Beast into the top of your, from the field, anywhere on the field, including in the back row to the top of your deck. They don't realize that effect can be really, really good to make Crystal Bonds live, to make Crystal Beacon live, to make all other stuff live. You cycle through your beasts very, very fast, and you'll find that a lot of them are out of your deck way sooner than you want them to be. Next, we finally have Emerald Tortoise to close out the Crystal Beast. The worst one, I think, switches itself into defense mode or switches any other Crystal Beast to defense mode. If only it was a little bit better, but beggars can't be choosers. And then finally, closing things out, we've got 1 copy of Rainbow Dragon just to close the deck out and make sure that everything is working smoothly in here. And I was running some Rainbow Dragon spells and traps, but I kind of took them out temporarily. I just felt like they were, like, I was playing too much around it, and there were some consistency issues, so we're not running them currently. Now, moving on to the spells, guys. This is one of the brand new spells, 3 copies of Crystal Bond, one of the best spells in the game with a super simple effect. Add any Crystal Beast from your deck to your hand, and then set 1 Crystal Beast into your back row. So if you use Crystal Bond and Crystal Tree, you can instantly get 4 Crystal Beasts to your back row. Summon, search Carbuncle, search Pegasus, add Carbuncle to the back row, normal Pegasus, add something else, and then send Crystal Tree to get 2 more. So you instantly set yourself up hugely with Crystal Bomb. You only get to activate it once per turn, but that's pretty much all you're going to need at that moment, as it just is so, so strong. The next card is 3 copies of Rainbow Bridge, arguably equally strong, if not more. Can search any card that has Crystal in its name and is not even once per turn, unlike Crystal Bond. Crystal Bond has Crystal in its name, and this GX archetype is specific in the fact that a lot of the spells and traps that have been used on this archetype are still extremely relevant now and are still extremely, extremely useful. So Rainbow Bridge is actually also useful as a consistency booster, because rather than waiting to draw the specific one you need, Bridge acts as a search card for every single one of them, so you run the ratios you want and not the ratios you must. Running out the last of the 3 of crystal spells is 3 copies of Crystal Beacon. When you have 2 crystal beasts in your spell and trap card zone, special summon 1 crystal beast monster from your deck. Super, super good. And you absolutely want to see this. Get your Pegasuses, get your Carbuncles, get whatever out of your deck, makes your plays happen. Very, very good in XYZ variants of this deck. As you guys can tell, this is not one, but still very, very good and can easily become one if you want it to be necessary. Now, one of the best field spells to ever come out of GX. My vote still goes to Clear World, but this is either a close second or tying for first place. Ancient City Rainbow Ruins, the be-all, end-all of field spells, and I'll explain how. Basically, for every crystal beast you have in your spell and trap card zone up to 5, you get a specific effect. If you have 1 crystal beast, this card can't be destroyed by card effects. Super amazing back in the GX era when MST was pretty much your only form of spell and trap removal. 2 crystal beasts in the back row. You can have any battle damage you take. 3 crystal beasts back there. As many times as you want, and as many crystal beasts as you control, you can negate spell and trap cards that are activated on the field. 4 crystal beasts in the back row, you draw 1 card, and 5, you can special summon any crystal beast from your back row, including, of course, Carbuncle, which will then special summon everything else. So that's it for the 3 ofs. Now moving on to the 2 ofs, guys. We have 2 copies of Rare Value. Why 2 copies of this instead of 1? I really wanted to bump this number up. It is a problematic card in the sense that your opponent gets to choose which crystal beast they send to the graveyard, which is often Carbuncle. But you run 3 Carbuncles and 3 Pegasuses, and you have easy ways to recur them if that happens. Draw 2, of course, is very, very good in this game, and a draw 2 that the character actually ran is that much better. Next, we have 2 copies of Crystal Tree. 2 copies in here instead of 3. The reason for that being Crystal Tree is a very, very fantastic card, but only in certain situations. Every time a Crystal Beast gets added to the back row, no matter how, add a counter to Crystal Tree. And then you can send Crystal Tree with any number of counters to get that number of Crystal Beasts from your deck. It's important because the exact number of Crystal Beasts you can put has to be on the counters. So if this card has 3 counters and you have like a bunch of back row, like, you know, you have 2 more back row, other than that, Crystal Tree is going to kind of like clog up your zone there. And so if you're not careful, Crystal Tree can come back to bite you, but it's a high risk, high reward card that you ultimately have to run in this deck and is ultimately very, very good. Next, for the 1 of spells and for the 1 of spell cards, we have 1 copy of Crystal Release, 800 boost for monsters. You don't really have many high attacking monsters in this deck, so any kind of boost that they can get is worth it. And then if this card goes to the grave, mandatory set a Crystal Beast into your back row. Next, we've got 1 copy of Crystal Promise. I thought about bumping this number up to 2, but I like it in here at 1 currently. Basically, special summon any Crystal Beast from your back row to your field. Good for Ruby Carbuncle, of course, and for other stuff and for clearing things out. Next, I've never really felt like I needed more of this, but 1 copy of Crystal Blessing. Set 2 Crystal Beasts from your graveyard into your spell and trap card zone. Do note for all of these cards, their effects activate while they're resolving, so you can't just activate this effect, send it to the graveyard, and then set 2 Crystal Beasts. So if you have 2 open zones, you must have 3 open zones in order to activate the effect of something like Crystal Blessing. So that's a very important ruling thing, and something that a lot of people don't really think about too much. And finally, one of my favorite crystal spells, Crystal Abundance. This spell card is sort of the all-purpose board wipe kind of card when you have 4 Crystal Beasts in your spell or trap card zone, which is very, very easy to achieve in this deck. You activate Crystal Abundance, wipe everything on the board, and it sends to the graveyard. It does not destroy. So you wipe everything, and then you get to special summon Crystal Beasts equal to the number of cards your opponent controlled that were sent to the graveyard that turn. So super, super amazing, and it's just like an OTK enabler of like crazy proportions. So that's Crystal Abundance. Now for the final 2 spells, we have Monster Reborn and Raigeki. Of course, we could switch things up. I thought about 1 crystal, another crystal cards and like some other stuff that we can put in here, but having staples is never really that bad of a thing, so, bear with it for now. Now moving on to the trap cards of the deck. 2 Crystal Conclaves, the best of the brand new, of the support out of Next Challengers, I think. There were the 4 support cards, the rainbow support cards, and some other stuff in there. Crystal Conclave, far and away amazing. Basically, it's got a Kieran effect. to bounce a Crystal Beast from your Monster Zone, Spell, or Trap card zone. Great at getting your Pegasus back to bounce something your opponent controls on target. And then when you destroy a Crystal Beast, if a Crystal Beast monster is destroyed, if a Crystal Beast monster is destroyed by battle or card effect, this card once per turn allows you to special summon a Crystal Beast monster from your deck. So it's very, very good, and you don't get to even what's it called? You can have multiple of these out and get multiple special summons, but the only thing about it is that you cannot activate both of these cards' effects in the same chain. So that's something to watch out for. Next, we've got Ultimate Crystal Magic, the fusion spell of the deck. Fusion trap, more like it. When a Crystal Beast monster is destroyed by battle, take 7 Crystal Beast monsters with different names and send them to the graveyard. And then, once you do that, you special summon Rainbow Overdragon from your extra deck. And then when this card is in the graveyard and a Rainbow Dragon monster is removed from the field by an opponent's card effect or destroyed by battle, you get to add as many Crystal Beast monsters as you want from your graveyard to your back row. So very, very cool, very, very good card, and definitely recommended in here. Now, card that very few people run, Crystal Counter. I personally like this card a lot. I think it's very strong. It's an interesting mix of type of card here. Not really that good. Wish it was a spell card. Then it might be too broken, but basically allows you to destroy all spells and traps and then set a bunch of Crystal Beasts to your back row, but they're all destroyed during the end phase. So ideally, you want to wait until your turn to activate this and then go for a big abundance play, wiping all of your Crystal Beasts to the graveyard. And then finally, guys, we've got Last Resort. Why Last Resort and not Metaverse, even though Metaverse is like 100% better in every single situation? And it's because this is a Jesse Anderson character deck, and that's it. So, guys, that's going to round out the trap cards. I believe this deck is 41 cards, and the only extra deck monster we run in here is 1 copy of Rainbow Overdragon. Be special summoned by the fusion spell or special summoned over Rainbow Dragon by tributing it. It's basically better Rainbow Dragon. Not really much else to say about that. Has the shuffle effect, has a attack gain effect, has like all sorts of crazy stuff in here, and is super, super good. And the fusion spell can get all your Crystal Beasts to the graveyard to make original Rainbow Dragon live, so you can get this guy out and then Rainbow Dragon and go for all sorts of crazy shenanigans. But I feel like the new support kind of balances very well and plays to the strengths that Crystal Beasts have as a deck, which is why I don't feel bad in running it in a Jesse character deck. But guys, that's going to about wrap it up for this Jesse character deck. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to give a like and rate, comment, and subscribe on the Team Time Riders YouTube channel for more great content just like this. This has been the Merman Master with the Team Time Riders YouTube channel, and I'm signing out. Catch you guys next time. Peace.